My name's Daquan Jackson. At the age of 11, I became a ward of a court, and then I was transitioned to foster care. And after that, I was placed in the care of my grandmother. I was always angry, staying with my grandmother, because I couldn't do things that my friends were doing. It was a very judgmental home. Couldn't trust nobody because I couldn't talk to nobody.
His mom was, in and out of treatment, and he lived with his grandmother. And that didn't work out too well. Well, he needed direction, and he needed somebody to show that they cared about him and cared about the things that he did.
He came to the door and he was like, "Oh, I'm a CASA worker." He introduced himself and asked could he, could I take a ride with him. And after that, I think we went to Costco and got a slice of pizza, and then we were sitting there talking. He was kind of, getting to know each other,
It was a challenge for both of us because he didn't know me, and he had no idea what I was all about. He just knew that this person was coming into his life, and he accepted me. And I was concerned about his age. He was only 11. He was getting ready to go to middle school, and I realized that middle school is where a ton of problems are in the educational system.
When he went from his grandmother's house, which was totally dysfunctional, into foster care, the family had this mother had said, "I don't want you," the grandmother had said, "I don't want you, you're too bad," because he was doing a lot of acting out at the time. "You're too bad, you're, just negative, negative, negative." And nobody had his back. Nobody in his relationships, his family, his caregivers, nobody had his back. If he would come home from school depressed about something the teacher had done to him, "Well, you shouldn't have," there was some negative reaction to that, rather than, "Well, tell me what happened, and let's see if we can work through this."
That was like the saddest weekend ever because nobody they kind of celebrated me leaving, So that was kind of hard for me because they were all rubbing it in my face, Everybody downstairs, I'm upstairs. I couldn't come downstairs and do family activities, That whole weekend I was packing my stuff. That's what they wanted me to do and stay upstairs. It was just not normal to me. It kind of took me to a stage like nobody cared, To me, it was like they had to pay this lady, take me because my own family won't do it, So that kind of took me to a really depressing state. And, I still try to, contact my family and they didn't want none with me.
My strategy was to just be there for him. And I think just spending time with him every day. We had to go to San Francisco. And so it gave us a good long period of time to talk to each other. And some days we'd do the whole bridge and didn't say a thing. I'd drive, he'd sit there and look. And I think that was about the turning point, one of the turning points that he could trust me.
We were always consistent. We were always there.
Lee and Yvonne were there no matter what. In freshman year, Lee took me ice skating. That was the most funniest moment because I kept falling, and it's we just forget it. We just gonna keep falling until we get it right, And it was just a moment of joy, I didn't have no stress. I didn't, think about home. That was the best moment ever because I didn't have that growing up, And so that kind of stayed with me. It always will stay with me no matter what. Cause that kind of helped me realize that every person around me is not out to get me.
The benefit of a foster kid having a CASA is the support, and we're there for them. And we tell him, we have to, we have your best interest at heart. Tell us whatever the problem is. We'll try to help you get past it, or we know someone who can help you get past whatever the problem is. We went to one of these meetings where the caseworker and social worker and people from the ILSP program, and everybody's represented, and whatever foster parent or family member he's with at the time, and there were many. everybody's trying to work out a plan for Daquan's progress, how much progress he's made, and where he's going. And this was in his senior year, where it was critical that if he was going to do it at all, he needed to do it right away. And all these people on the caregiving side, family members, were negative about what he couldn't do, and he won't do this and he won't do that. Very negative. And he became he was so angry. He was just trembling. And I could see it, and I just got next to him and, just, gave him some little pats and, come on, no, nothing verbal, just, you can do this. He didn't say another word. When we left that meeting, it was, I'm going to do me. I'm going to graduate. He knew we had his back. He knew we believed in him.
You hearing all these things about you in a meeting, and your anger gets to you, and she was always there, patting my back, because she was telling me, like, don't get, it ain't nothing you can't change about it. You can change these things. Why get mad about something you can change,
That's when he really blossomed, though. I mean, he worked in the office, and they loved him in the office. I mean, he was professional. You could tell when he answered the phone that somebody knew what goes on at this school. Yeah, and that was Daquan. Yeah, so, I get the phone call. Lee, yes. Guess what? You can't guess what. But I'm going to be the speaker. I'm going to be a speaker at the graduation.
And I was kind of like skeptical of it, because that's not me. Like, I'm not going to go speak in front of almost 2,000 people. It went really wonderful. I tried not to cry through it, so that's the biggest thing. I try not to cry. But, I just kind of told everybody, like, what it took for me kind of to accomplish me graduating.
But he put it all together. He put it all together, and Yvonne edited it for him, and they worked on it, and it was beautiful. But at the end, he thanked Yvonne and I, and that was the cream on the cherry on the soda. Yeah. So that was it.
I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without them. The way I envision life in a different way now is because of them. The reason why I strive for excellence is because of them.
We give him love, and he, in return, gives us love.
Lee and Yvonne, they were always there, no matter what. They saw something in me that I didn't see for myself. I really appreciate you, Yvonne, and you, Lee, and I love you guys.